Building your hot opportunity list. In this lesson, you're going to discover a potentially faster way of building your hot opportunity list. And also we're briefly going to talk about passions and interests. So you have discovered how to start building your hot opportunity list by building a list of primary products and then adding competing products to that list to prove viability and then either keeping or deleting the primary products. Now there is another option, and we have mentioned it before, and that is to do both at once. Most, but not all, find it faster. So we highly recommend you go through the selection process at least once before using this method. In other words, add 5 to 10 primary products and then add the competing products, as we did in the previous 2 lessons. While this second method can speed up the process, if you are not 100% sure of the original method, then it could actually slow you down. So this method is for completing the first 2 steps at once, and not everyone finds it quicker. Try it and see if it is faster for you. If it isn't, then by all means stick to the original method. So the products we're showing. The products we show in these lessons are obviously seen by all ASM members. So we do try and limit the exposure of too many products. The critical thing is for you to see how to select products and not necessarily to see the products themselves. So in other words, not to show you tons of examples that might deter you from any product shown. So it is important that you remember that the products shown in this lesson, and especially the ones that are shown as viable, are seen by a lot of people. So a specific passion or expertise. If you have a specific passion for a niche or even have expertise, then you can zero in on that niche. However, do not narrow yourself down to a specific niche. The most important thing is to find a viable product and launch it and start making sales. You will learn so much from launching your first product. And the ASM criteria is there to make sure that your first product is viable, but has low enough competition so you can compete. So we do recommend you search in multiple categories. Believe me, once your first product is live and making sales, you will become very passionate about it. And it's also relatively simple to become an expert. You can always launch something you are more passionate about for your second product. So let's go take a look at how you can speed up your search. So here we are back at Amazon, and I'm just going to type in a search string. I'm going to choose home and kitchen to get me to kitchen and dining. Hit search, then hit kitchen and dining. Then I'm going to hit the 4 squares to get 60 results. And I'm going to scroll down. And yes, I'm doing this quickly, but you've seen this all before. And then we're going to put $16.99 to $70, click go. And now we're on page 1. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to skip a couple of pages, and we're on page 2 now. And remember, this URL is critical to your searches. You want to be able to take breaks, so it's incredibly important that you take a note of this URL, select it all, and copy it and put it in a text file so that when you come back, you can start from whatever page you've left off on. So I'm just going to jump ahead to, let's go to page 4, and then I'm going to extract 2 or 3 pages of results. And to be honest, even if we're using the same products we saw before, I'm not concerned about that. It's more important that you see how this process works. So I'm going to hit Jungle Scout, and then I'm going to pause the video and extract the next 2 pages. Okay, so I've extracted 3 pages. You can see I've got 180 results. Now, just as a reminder, we were on page 4. I've extracted page 4, 5, and 6. So if I took a break after this and came back, I would go to page 7. So all I would need to do is change my URL, change the page equals to page equals 7, and that would start me on a new page. So I'm quickly going to apply the filters, and so I'll put the price in. I've put 100 to 12,000 because we're still in kitchen and dining. And actually on that point, when you are doing your searches, you should try multiple categories. Don't just stick in one. Make sure you look at other categories too. And by all means, as I mentioned earlier, you can choose something that's a passion of yours. But if, for instance, you are passionate about health, fitness, that kind of stuff, then you could go into sports and outdoors. But it's also critically important, and it's what I meant by don't narrow yourself to a specific niche, that you go and search in other categories too. Remember, even if you find a product in a category you don't have a specific interest or passion about, launching a product that does well, makes sales, you'll soon become passionate about it. So the last one is weight. I'm going to put 5. I'm going to filter the results. And what I'm going to do to speed this up, I'm actually going to pause the video, and I'm going to go and remove any products that are on our products to avoid list to speed this up. So I did get a bit carried away, and I actually removed some extra products too. But we've got 19, it's plenty to work with. I'm only going to show 2 or 3 examples because It's a pretty straightforward process because essentially it's just combining the two things that you've already learned. So the first product, what we're going to do is we're going to click on it to open it up. We're going to take a look. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find competing products that are similar to this, but let's give it a go. So I'm going to use the keyword straight away, and that's skull, cakelet, pan. Oh, one other thing. I did actually sort these by rank, in case you're wondering how the order changed. You can do that. There's no particular reason for it. It's just something I've got in the habit of. So I'm going to paste that into the search. Remember, exactly the same way as we did it. I'm going to look up, click all departments, click search. It is showing 117 results. I guess we're going to find out. So in fact, let me just look. Yeah, so I think we can rule this one out because as you can see, they're all different kinds of cakelet designs. It's not just skulls, and I don't think we're going to find enough skulls. So I'm going to rule this one out. But here's the beauty of doing it this way. Instead of actually going through the process of adding this product to our list and then coming back later only to find out it's not viable, we found out straight away. So we're not wasting any time putting it into our sheet. So I can delete that one. Here's one of those coffee press makers that we found earlier. So again, French press coffee maker. Paste it in, choose all categories, and I can't remember, I'm pretty sure this one failed, and it's giving it to us in home and kitchen. And remember, we want to click all departments, and then we'll click Jungle Scout. And I know we've been through this product before, or basically through this search before, but let's just take another quick look so you can understand how it works. But you can see all that we're actually doing is we're combining the two things at once. So we're looking at the primary product and looking for competing products straight away. So I'm going to sort by rank, and that's the stainless steel one, if you remember. That one looks okay. That's glass, that's glass, that's glass. So we'll delete the first one. But then this one failed because of reviews. If you remember, so if we look at the first three, they're all over 1,000 reviews, and in fact the fourth and fifth are also over 1,000 reviews. So this one failed, the same as it did the first time, which is, I guess, a bit of a relief. So we can delete that one. Next one is a scale. This might be a little bit weird because I've got a funny feeling the bowls are going to be different, but we can have a look. So it's digital kitchen scale, and it looks like we might have to add the removable bowl, but let's put it into our search. Go up to all departments, and I missed that. Did it give us search results? Yep, there's nothing with a removable bowl, so we'll click on it and have a look. Again, it's showing in home and kitchen. We'll select all departments, and let's have a look. So yeah, none of these look like so there's ours with a bowl. There's another one, it's the same brand, it's probably the same product. And as you can see, none of these are actually showing ones with a bowl. But we can go to the next page, see if there's any there. And that's a different make. So in fact, let's put bowl in the search. Now I just I should have put with bowl. So let's see all results. Okay, we're seeing a few. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Jungle Scout. I've got a funny feeling they're all going to be so different that it's going to be difficult to try and line them up together. But we don't know till we try. So I'm going to extract the second page. I'm going to click rank to sort by rank. And this one doesn't have a bowl, so we can delete it. This one does have a bowl, but it's plastic and not chrome. But let's keep going. This is our main product, our primary product. This doesn't have a bowl. This doesn't have a bowl. This one does, but again, it's plastic. I've got another one with a plastic bowl. This one doesn't have a bowl. This one does. So we've actually got three, but again, if we look across, look, the reviews are killing it. And this is something you're going to see a lot in the earlier pages of your search. Remember, I've only searched in kitchen and dining. This, I guess, is 4, 5, and 6. So that's very, very early to be looking for products. So it's not a surprise that we lose these. But again, because of the reviews, we'd lose it. So I haven't wasted any time adding this product to our primary list. So I hope you're seeing that that does make things easier. So this is a meat thermometer again. It's a little bit different. So why don't we take a quick look? And I saw actually the one we did before that was right under it. So we're actually going to call this, I think it's going to be digital probe thermometer. And in fact, it was dual probe because it had two different ones. So we'll try that. Digital dual probe thermometer. Oops, forgot to change it to all departments. So I'll do it again. This time it's showing us all the results in this page. So there's our primary product. It's kind of similar, I guess. So these have all got two probes. If you remember, the one we did was one like this. So it only had one probe. I'm not sure what the benefits are. I'm not a great chef. But let's take a look. So hit Jungle Scout. Going to extract the next page. And remember, we're looking for a dual probe. So two probes and not just one. Sort by rank. If this is ours, we're in deep trouble because it says 23. Nope, that's a single probe. So we'll delete that. This one is similar to ours, that's fine. This one's actually the same product underneath. No, in fact it isn't. And then we've got another one underneath, that's our product. It's a single probe, so it's no good to us. That's got two, but I've got a funny feeling, no, it's a different model to the one above, but essentially it's the same product. Now I think this is different. It looks like two single probes, which is different, I imagine. So I'm going to delete it. I mean, obviously I'm not doing scrape depth here. It's only got one probe. Again, it's single probe by the looks of things. Another single probe. Okay, that's a dual probe. And so is that. And so is that. So those are all pretty similar. We're okay by rank because we're looking at 246, 284, and 2462. The reviews are high for the first and third, and they're getting there with the second one, but it's 856, so it falls within our criteria. So I would then add this as a hot product opportunity. And basically, I'm not actually going to go ahead and do it right now. I will do it afterwards. But basically, it's just a case of right-clicking on the title, and this time going back and adding it as the URL, the first product URL, and then adding it and the competing products all at the same time. So again, it's a little bit quicker. I'm actually going to move that over to the right so I remember to add it. So we've done that one, so we'll delete that. I'm not going to go through this one again because if you remember we went through it and it was a failure. This is a replacement part. I knew I left this in for a reason. Again, this is on our products to avoid list. I just wanted to reiterate that this kind of product we do not go after. Here's our tacos again, so I'm going to delete that because I've already been through it. I'll do one more example. It's actually doing a serious amount of money for something so simple. But I'm going to say let's go for roll-up dish drying rack. Because to me, over the sink's kind of self-explanatory, but maybe not. We're about to find out. And then we're going to change to all departments, click search. And yep, there's plenty of products. So let's hit Jungle Scout, extract the second page, and then sort by rank. So first one, yep, so it's actually stainless steel. I didn't notice what kind of material this one was. It does look different. Take a quick look at it. So I'm not entirely sure how that folds up if it's stainless steel. I'm going to say that's a different product. Because if we look at this, it looks like it's acrylic. So I'm going to delete it. This looks kind of similar, but it looks smaller. No, it goes over the whole thing. So again, that one's okay. That one's okay. Yep, that's okay. That's okay. So this one's looking okay. We've got these products. So look at the ranks. They're all fine. Prices, yep, they're just about fine. The reviews is not too crazy. In fact, I'll go ahead and do this one. We'll copy the link of the primary product, paste it into the next row, and then we need the keyword. I can actually grab that from Amazon right here. Copy it, click in the keyword box, type it in. It's in Home and Kitchen. In fact, these are all in Home and Kitchen, so we don't have to worry about that. So then we need the price, $25, $743 and $16.68. So I put in Home and Kitchen, $25, $743 and $16.68. Then we need to add the first competing product. Copy the right click, copy the address from the title, paste it into the second URL. Probably didn't need to show you all this. You've seen it enough times so far. We need the BSR and the reviews, which is 962 and 42. And then we're going to add the third one. Right click, copy. You can see in terms of time, this doesn't actually make any difference in terms of how long it takes you to add these. The point of this and the reason most people find it quicker is that you don't actually have to add the primary product. So if you go through this process and build a list of 25, 30 primary products, you can come back and start looking at the competing products and you might lose all of them. Well, all that time it took for you to put in those primary products is essentially wasted. And there we go. So we've added that one. So I'm not going to go through any more examples. You've seen how it works. You've been through the previous two lessons, which do a much more in-depth job of showing you how to find primary products and add competing products. This is just about showing you how you can do both at the same time. For me, I find this way quicker than doing it the other way, but it's completely up to you. Try both, see what you prefer. However, I do want to briefly talk about some other things, and we talked briefly about having a passion about something. So I'm actually going to jump to a different category to show you an example of something. I'm not going to look at products because I don't want to expose any more products. But I've gone to sports and outdoors. And for instance, say I was passionate about sports and fitness. I could skip searching the entire category because there's going to be products that maybe I'm not interested in that show up and slow me down. So you can click on a subcategory. And this is the difference here. Sports and fitness is a subcategory. It's not a top level category in its own right, but it does reduce the number of products you're going to have to go through. And you could even take it a step further. Say you were passionate about hunting and fishing, you could go down another level to hunting and fishing. However, and this is really important, if you do that, you're going to be missing potentially a lot of really, really good products. But if you're an expert or you're passionate about one specific thing, then you can go down that route. For instance, say you are a fitness instructor or a yoga instructor, so you know a lot about yoga and fitness and health and all that kind of stuff, then by all means drill down into the categories. So in this case, If we go back to sports and fitness, we could just search in sports and fitness, or you could narrow it down to exercise and fitness. But if you go down that route, we also highly recommend that you also spend an equal amount of time looking in another category that you might not have a passion about, like kitchen and dining or baby or any of the other categories that are on our BSR downloads sheet. It's really important you don't try and narrow yourself down too much. So if we go back to our list now, I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to get another 3 or 4 products added to this, because the more products I have in here as examples, the easier it'll be for me to show you how we go about narrowing down our list to our best 3 hot opportunities. But when we do that, the beautiful thing is, even if we narrow it down and pick our best 3, we don't delete any of the other products, because essentially any product that makes it onto your hot opportunity list is just that. It's a hot opportunity. It doesn't become terrible and not viable anymore just because you prefer something else. And that's really important to bear in mind. So, as I say, I'm going to fill this out. I'm probably going to add another 3 or 4 products. The less actual products I show you, the better it is. However, just before we go, I just wanted to show you something about subcategories. You can see I've run the search in the top level category for sports and outdoors. I've got the search string in there, and I've also narrowed it down by the price. First of all, if you change between subcategories, and especially if you change between top level categories, make sure that the price range is still in there. If not, just add it again. But the most important thing I wanted to mention is, say for instance we wanted to go into the subcategory sports and fitness. So I'd click on it, and we're now in sports and fitness. The good thing is it's still showing the money. The most important thing is, if you remember, we're only interested in BSRs in the top level category. And the beauty of Jungle Scout, if I open it up, is it actually shows the top level categories. In other words, it's showing you the BSR for the top level categories. And if you want to go a step further, say we want to go into hunting and fishing, so we're essentially in a subcategory, it's exactly the same. Jungle Scout will find you the BSRs in the top level categories. So I just wanted to show you that so that when you went into subcategories, you'd understand how it works. So what did we cover? Well, we covered how to speed up the product selection process by finding primary products and checking for viability with competing products at the same time. In the next lesson, you're going to discover how to pick your best 3 hot opportunities to take into module 2. Your action step: use this method or the previous method to add products to your hot opportunity list. You want to have at least 15 verified opportunities if possible. Worst case, if you only have 10, then you'll have enough to go into the next lesson. So try and get at least 10 products, preferably 15 or more. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.